What's going on? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Tech Production. Today, Bancroft doing once again to go over another deck profile. Not just any deck profile, but we're going to go over Garlic Jr. It's a deck I've played off and on for a couple weeks. Absolutely enjoy it. And this may end up being more of a deck profile plus kind of like add-ons. We'll just kind of go with the flow. Oh yeah, there's buttons. Check it out. And it's been a while, so let's get into it. It's a Wish Leader. Activate main switches card to rest mode, play up to one red Ginger, Sanzo, or Nikki. Energy cost of 1 from your deck, shuffle your deck afterwards. And when there's 7 Dragon Ball cards in your drop, add 1 Garlic's Ambition from your deck to your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. Pretty simple, and you can actually, if you play your cards right, get this on turn 1 if you're lucky. Activate main on the Awakened side. You choose one of the effects, either play up to 1 red Ginger, Sanzo, or Nikki with energy cost of 4 from your deck if its skill is negated for the turn. Shuffle your deck afterwards, or you activate up to 1 red or black Desire card from your hand with energy cost less than or equal to the current energy. And you typically use that for, I think it's Garlic's Ambition, which helps you draw more cards outside the Dragon Balls, so it's a very drawy deck. Activate Battle for 1 red energy. If your life is 2 or less and you remove 7 Dragon Ball cards from your drop from the game, you don't take damage for the turn. Then put this card over at the end of the turn. This is very sneaky during your opponent's turn. When they're going for a game, they got you and put in the corner. You go, hey, you forgot I had 1 open energy. We'll pay this. I don't take no more damage. Thank you for using all your combo power and trying to take me out because you forgot about this effect. It's happened twice, and it's kind of funny when it happens. So kind of going into the quote-unquote draw engine. Oh, also kind of want to catch up. It's not my Hollow Leader. I don't know where it's at right now. Got a lot of cards everywhere. Trying out new card games as well, so... Draw Engine. We played the 7 Dragon Balls. Fluff has the other cooler rarity, cooler looking ones in his Zamasu deck right now, so I got these extra mythical booster ones, I think it was. But yeah, 7 Dragon Balls. They just draw you a card. So you pull from the deck to use it. So you're initially pulling out 2 cards, so a lot of times it's pretty great. 4 Garlic's Ambitions because you kind of want to play this every turn you're able to, because if you use the leader's ability when awakened to play this card, it's initially draw 2. But this card gains Desire in all areas. Activate main if your leader is red. Draw 1 card. Choose the 1 red Garlic Jr. card in your battle area. It gains Indestructible till the end of your opponent's turn. Additionally, if this skill was activated by one of your red Shinran skills, you draw additional card. So it's a draw 2 for free using the leader's ability, which is fantastic. And the last part of the draw engines help kind of find these out is get that monster to activate Battle Limit 1. If your leader is Red Shinran card, choose up to 1. Add up to 1 Dragon Ball card from your deck to your hand, shuffle your deck. Cool, you can do it if you really want to. That's how I said this could be initially a turn 1 awaken using this effect if you go second, because you can swing with the 1 drop and activate Battle here to kind of search that card out. Or you can add up to 1 red Desire card, energy cost of 1 or 2 from your deck to your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. Some people I saw were teching in or playing the 1 drop instead, because when this card is played, you just add 1 the Garlic Jr. Ambitions from your deck to your hand, so it helps you kind of shuffle it that way. And then you can activate main for 1 additional energy. You can play 1 of the 1 drops from your thing as well. I didn't really like it as much. Yes, I get it's a combo power, which helps the Z deck, it helps other things, helps keep you alive. But, in my testing, I just really like to get that monster instead. Moving up to the majority of the core of this deck, really, it's the 1 drops, the 4 drops, and the Garlics. So we're going to start with the 1 drops, and really it's just a 3-3-2 ratio. 3 Nikki, 3 Ginger, and 2 Sanzo. They all have the same effect. Auto, when if your leader is Red Garlic Jr., when this card is played, you choose 1. You either play up to 1 red version of this card with energy cost of 4, which we'll go to those later, from your deck, add it to your hand. I said play by accident, but you add it to your hand. Or you may place 1 card in your hand at the bottom of your deck. If you do, look at your deck and life. Add up to 2 Dragon Ball cards from those areas. Shuffle your deck. So it just searches cards out. The way to kind of quickly awaken is obviously you mulligan for Dragon Balls. Use Leader's ability to just say play 1 of these guys. Then you add 2 more Dragon Balls in your hand. Then you just pay 1 energy to play the other guy. You add 2 more in your hand. You hope to see 6 Dragon Balls at that point, and if you go second, you just kind of swing here. Then you activate Battle and get that monster, and that's your 7 Dragon Ball. So, I've done it like twice, I think. And then you use the leader's ability to go ahead and play the 4-drop afterwards, which you could swing with if you want to, or you could save the 4-drop in case your opponent wants to attack into it instead. So, but that's the 1-drops. They just pull out the counters, which they play out the 4-drops from the deck to your hand. We'll go with the first one, Nikki, 4-drop. If you have a Garlic Jr. Indestructible in play, this card gets 5,000 power and crit. Keep in mind, these cards are blank. If you use them on the Awakened side of the leader, you never really want to play them that way unless you just have to. Or you've seen all your Garlic ambitions by that point. Or you activate main for 1 red energy. I don't know if I said or, but activate main, limit 1 for 1 red energy. If you have a red Garlic Jr. in play, you play this card from your hand. So it's 1 energy, 15k crit. It's not bad. The 4-drop Ginger, everything's practically the same when it comes to playing, but instead of getting crit, it gets double strike. Oh, also keep in mind, sorry, I said 15k. If you have the Indestructible, it's a 20k crit. This is a 20k double strike for 1 energy. And then if you have a 5-drop Garlic Jr. in play with Indestructible, 5 or more, this is a free negate. We only play 2 of them because it's not... Turn orders get a little bit iffy, because a lot of times you want to... if you're going off of the Z battle cards, it's a 1-drop, then it's a 3-drop, then it's a 5-drop on turn 3. Sorry, on turn 4. You could do it sooner. And the other ones, you could play it as when you get the 3 energy. So, like, if you see this guy early, it's pretty much dead until turn 3 in your hand. So it's just common power. That's why we would play 2 of them, because we want to see it when it matters, but not any sooner. And also, like I said, you just play the 1-drop to fish it out. Going to the Garlic Juniors, play 4 of the 5-drops. Like I said, they can be played on turn 3 with 1 energy. If your leader is Garlic Junior, you have 3 more energy. And you place 1 card at the bottom of your deck. Play this card from your hand, and then you choose one. Either draw 1 card or add the 1 Garlic's Ambition from your drop to your hand. So if you haven't used them by that point, cool, just draw a card. And then auto when this card is played from your hand, play up to 1 Demon Clan from your deck with energy cost of 2 or 4 and a power of 15,000 or less, with its skills negated for the game. Then you shuffle your deck afterwards. So it's in play. It's going to play a 4-drop. It's just be a skillless 15k, but hey, for 1 energy, you're initially playing a 20k, giving Indestructible, then you're playing 15k as well. It's not bad. The 8-drop itself, dual attack permanent, this card is Indestructible. Your opponent's battle cards in unison get minus 10,000 power. That is really good when you can't finish your opponent off. It delays them from taking you out because all their battle cards are going to be weakened. Their unisons are going to be weakened in case they have those on board. Auto at the end of your opponent's turn, you do remove this card from the game. And activate main, limit 1 for 2 red energy. If your leader is red and you have 4 more energy, you play this card from your hand. Choose all battle cards other than this card, and they get minus 15,000 power for the turn. So if you're going to play this on your turn, make sure you swing any card you have available to swing with ahead of time before you play this, because it will neg those cards as well. But then you do this card indestructible, and then your opponent's battle cards in unison get an additional minus 10k as well. So it can just clear the board 25ks. Super combos, we just played Raditz. You can ideally play another super combo. This deck draws a ton as it is already. And Raditz, so in case I run out of Garlic Jr. ambitions, this will allow me to kind of put these guys at the bottom of my deck again, just kind of use the leader's ability to fetch them to the board. Let's go over some promos. Promos are really good. And we play 3 of the Gohan. It's a way of controlling my opponent's turns. They play a battle card. I go, hey, it loses 20,000 power. And now I got a blocker on board. Cool. And it actually really helps out when you have like this guy on board and it's your opponent's turn. So if they try to play a big beefy battle card, you can kind of go, yeah, no, I'm good. And then 3 Broly's, because Broly's really good. Crit Servant, when this card is played, you can't play copies of this card for the turn, and you choose one. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with 15,000 power or less and KO it. We don't ever do that option because we like drawing. You choose up to 1 of your non-Overlord leaders, and that card gains Overlord until the end of turn. Fantastic. Activate main for 1 red energy. You can play this card if your opponent has 2 or more energy. So it's a 25k crit that you use the leader to tuck it back in the deck to draw 1 card. Yes, please. Going over a Negate package. So outside of the 2/2 drops, and yes, I'm going to incorporate these guys, the Gohans, because they're just ways of stalling out your opponent's turn by kind of getting rid of cards or stopping attacks for free. We are a Wish deck, so we play 2 after images. Once you get 5 cards, you just you take a life, and there you go. And 3 testings, because once you get to 5 lives, you can do this for free as well. And it's just really good. It helps stall your opponent out. We do play some counterplays. It is the DBS ball. It just stops cards from being played if they have 15,000 power or less. Yeah, and you have 4 or less life, of course. But this also boosts your leader. So, secret of choice. You could play Vegeta. Get your opponent down to 1 life. Use Vegeta to kind of clear the board. But I like playing Shenron because Shenron is so good with cards like this guy. So if you have this guy on board and you have 5 energy, you could just swing once, restand, play Shenron, activate main. Now he has triple attack and he can swing 3 more times. Or you use a Z battle card, which we'll go over the Z deck real quick before I kind of go over anything else about this deck. So for this particular profile, I'm doing something a little bit different than I normally do. The Z deck could go one of 2 ways. You can play 2 of the chain and say the Rush Attack Vegeta, or you could play just the chain once and then tech in whatever Z battle cards you want. So I'm really just going to go over the Z battle cards, and from that point on, it's just later for you. I personally did 1 chain and like 3 of the Vegetas because I felt like in most matchups those were better to play, especially against yellow. But starting with the chain, I do have a hollow one. I just don't know where it's at right now. Is the 1-drop Garlic Jr. Child of Evil. Deflect Barrier, it's hitting the board, it's staying on the board. And then Z Stack 2, you grab the 2 other ones with Z cost of 3, you place them underneath. Cool. Permanent, this card has indestructible, it gets plus 10k power, so initially you can play this card on turn 2, maybe turn 2 is when you can play this card. If you're lucky, maybe turn 1. No, you'll never play turn 1, so turn 2. Activate main, limit 1. Red energy. If your leader is Red Garlic Jr. and you have 3 more energy, you play up to 1 Red Garlic Jr. with energy cost of 3 from under this card on top of this card in active mode. This is where it gets tricky. So you could theoretically, if you had the resources, give this card indestructible, swing with it, then pay 1 to go into the 3-drop, and then give it indestructible again. That does cost you another energy. Typically, just immediately go straight into the 3-drop. Don't try to get cheeky with swings. I've gotten this card hit with Final Flash before, and it sucks. So the 3-drop, deflect, so it's hitting the board. It is 15k. It has a permanent when this card is indestructible. It gets plus 10,000 power. Auto, if a Garlic Jr. is under this card when this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 20,000 power for the turn. So just sniping cards out is always good. Activate main, if you have 4 more energy, you can play the 5-drop in active mode. And that's where I got cheeky. I was like, oh, I'll swing 15k. And it's like, yeah, Final Flash. Don't do it against yellow. It's bad. The 5-drop has crit. Permanent. This card is indestructible. It gets plus 10,000 power and double strike. Auto. When this card attacks, choose one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, ignoring barrier, and it gets minus 30,000 power for the turn. So going to turn 4, you can theoretically pay 1 to go into the 5-drop, give it indestructible, and then play Shenron. Use Shenron's ability to activate main, give it triple attack, and plus 10 more K, so now it's a 45k crit double strike. That for every swing will neg a card by 30,000 ignoring barrier. Very strong, very good. That's pretty much my Garlic Jr. deck. I think it's 54 cards. But there are so many other ways you could go with this deck. You could tack in these guys because they work really well. Change your super combos up to either Piccolo or Goku's, and it works great for you instead. I mean, it's a double strike, dual attack initially. You can always tack in the Gohan rares because for 1 energy you're playing this card, and if your opponent has enough battle cards, it's going to be a really good, strong beast, and it negs out the board. And there's also for the promo cards, say, like those are too expensive, completely understand. One chain you could do instead is when you play the Gohans on your opponent's turn, and if it stays alive, you can swing with this card, 20k double strike, and then you play the Son Goku Vegeta Trunks for 1 energy, and you put the Gohan underneath it. That way, it's not on the board anymore, gets past unique, so you can play another one. On the following turn, you swing with the trio Sand, and then I think a Negate card by 30k. I don't have the card in front of me. But there's all kinds of different routes you can go to this deck, which I think is really fantastic. But this is kind of the build I landed on. Thanks for tuning in. Keep minding buttons, links, check them out. And that's it. Bye.